Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Shweebe. Welcome to today's stream. Technically a chatty stream, but we're going to be talking about something incredibly important. I don't know if everybody is currently aware, but YouTube has decided as of August 13th, which is only 6 days away from the day that I am doing this stream, that they are going to be rolling out an AI that will do a form of age verification to ensure that you are not under the age of 18, which will include getting personal information such as your driver's license, possibly a credit card, or they're also thinking about doing some form of face scan. Spotify has done this. I think actually YouTube's decision to do this was about a week after a full censorship on the internet went out in the UK, which I think happened about a day after. Something similar happened in Australia. Oh my word. This is some dangerous territory. Before I get too wrapped up in this, please understand that I am hoping to share facts. Yes, I am going to share opinions, but I will state which ones are which. Obviously, what I just spoke about is facts, because I want everybody to be well informed as to what's going on. I do have a couple of resources that can help us to get our word out that no, we don't want this. But also just mostly so everybody is informed as to how this can affect you as a viewer and what to expect roughly. I realize it's super vague on YouTube's end how it can affect you as a creator. But before I get too wrapped up in that, hello Speckapoo! Hello Brooke! Hello, welcome to Stram. Hope you're all having a good Friday. I'm having a pretty good Friday. Look, I have an already pre-tied tie because I can't remember how to do a Winchester knot. But I wanted to be fancy for this because, you know, I'm going to be all like official and whatever. Be downright proper. Yeah. Anywho. So, and of course, if y'all have any questions about this, feel free to let me know. I will try and answer as best I can with the information that I've come across. I have got quite a few accounts that are a lot more well knowledgeable than I am. I'm mostly going to be sharing my 2 cents on this, and couldn't already tell, I don't agree with it. It's really not a smart move. You like my tie? Oh, thanks. It's Tony's tie. I took it. I went searching in the closet and I was like, I'm pretty sure he still has one. We had to learn how to do Winchester tie knots for our college almost a decade ago. I think actually probably well over a decade ago now. It was a long time ago. Alright, so let me what do we want to start with first? Because actually YouTube sent out a email to me as a creator. I would like to assume that they sent this out to every creator, but I know it is strictly part of, if you're part of the YouTube Academy program that they have, which is how you get into like the YouTube partner program and all that stuff. You're nice, super fancy, super fancy, super fancy. Ooh, stealing. I know. Mwahaha. Actually, I will start with the email first because this will actually give a more deep dive into exactly like what to expect with this. So give me 1 sec. All right. Don't mind all the stuff on the side. I didn't know how to get rid of it. All right. So this is the email that I received from the Academy support team, which is from YouTube. Hang on. Did that? It sure did. Okay. OBS is kind of weird. All right. So YouTube is changing monetization and verification. I'm not going to read every word on this. I am going to skim through it real quick. But basically, over the several huge announcements that have been made from YouTube concerning the AI, you as a content creator are going to be impacted about this. What they're saying is one of the big announcements that they have done is you can swear within the first 7 seconds of the video. For any videos like, and this happened back in like 2017-ish is where they're saying, a lot of videos lost monetization if they swore within the first 30 seconds. So now they're like, well, we'll allow it, whatever. I'm certain if you do more than one, they'll probably like, all right, now you have to rate it for something else. Anywho, okay, so here's the one that we're talking about. YouTube is rolling out a policy as of August 13th to U.S. content creators They will impact you if you have audience members under the age of 18 years old. YouTube will be using its AI tools to detect whether views are under 18 or not, and will require them to independently verify with an ID or credit card, or there will be several ways in which their experience with content will change. I love how vague they keep this, because no one truly knows what this exactly means. Exactly how will their experience change? Are you just going to prevent them from being able to see anything at all, or what exactly is the deal there? The most significant impact for you as a creator is that viewers under 18 going forward, regardless of ID verification or not. So basically saying, with this new policy that they have rolling out, whether or not a viewer has decided to update their verification on the site, if they are under 18, you will not get they will not get personalized ads going forward. They will get general and contextual ads. For those of you that are content creators or know of bigger content creators, they get a lot of ad revenue from personalized ads. What's a personalized ad? Hang on, let me put my face back on the screen. So personalized ads is where you'll get ads more targeted to the things that they know that you're interested in. If you go onto like your Google Ads setting, you can go, okay, I'm interested in like beauty, cats, and I don't know, theater or something. They're going to gear more ads towards those things to you. By doing that, they'll be able to see more of that, and which, if you do earn ad revenue from YouTube, you'll be able to uptick more in revenue by doing so. So basically what they're saying is you as a creator, if they are not in fact over 18 or refuse to prove that they are, and they just happen to view your content, tough, you're not going to get that extra like 2 cents or whatever for a personalized ad. I'm gonna be real here. I realize I am not a big creator. Okay, I've been at this for 10 years. I got about 2 point whatever K subscribers, and I'm grateful to every single one of y'all. Ad revenue is not how a creator gets money. Markiplier has said this. Pewds has said this. If you actually watch and pay attention to any of the big creators, they're not worried about ad revenue. They get their money from merch. It is mostly merch, but then they also like branch out and do other things. Like they go and do events, and the money is there to be made, but if you're smart about it, you won't solely go after ad revenue. So like, there's ways around it if you care, but if you're just, I don't know, you're treating this more like a hobby and you don't give a crap, then honestly don't worry about it. But if you are like, oh my god, my $100 that I get like every, I don't know, couple months or whatever, seriously, look into making merch or whatever, because that does not require you as a creator to have any form of like any specific requirements. Like you don't need 1,000 subscribers to make merch. You can literally go to sites like Makeship or TeePublic, or sometimes even Shopify, things like that, where you can just have merch. So there's ways around that. Let's see. Let's catch up with chat real quick. Spec says, well, now it's just a game of how many swears I can fit in the first few seconds. And Brooke says, probably would force under 18 to only be able to watch the kids' stuff. I have theorized that myself. And trust me, I realize I'm being very, like, calm, patient, and just, proper about this. This is probably going to get salty because there's a lot to cover. But, because we haven't even gotten to the other part of this, so just wait. But yeah, I do wonder how they're going to treat that, because even in the email, it says, oh, where did it go? I literally just read it. There will be several ways in which their experience with content will change. What does that mean? YouTube has this very consistent thing that it does where it's very vague into certain policies as to what it says. It's like their overall experience. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean, like what Brooke pointed out, is that going to mean like if a viewer or content creator, or for whatever reason, doesn't update their ID with a credit card or whatever, are they going to be forced to only watch YouTube Kids stuff? Are they only going to see, I don't know, like the news or something? Like how exactly is their experience going to be affected? We know now that personalized ads won't roll for them, which, I mean, that could to some degree hurt a creator, but what does that mean for the overall viewer? As of right now, we don't know. Fun stuff. And then Spec says, yeah, no one should be watching my stuff anyways. I don't know. I think, honestly, your stuff is definitely targeted more for adults. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. We're going to get back to this email, and I'll skim through the rest of it. Let's see. While this may not seem that important, the difference in ad revenue could be a huge if 20% or more of your audience is under 18. These ads can be worth up to 70% less than personalized ads for viewers. The niches most impacted by this already have lower RPM values and lower brand deal values, particularly if you're not an established creator. So basically, again, like what I just said, if you're super concerned about making money off ad revenue, it's pretty much gone now because of this bullcrap. Go get yourself some merch and do it that way. The bigger YouTubers don't sweat the small stuff when it comes to ad revenue anyhow, so seriously. And even in this email, they give advice for creators. Memberships, sponsors, UGC, donations, merchandise and products. You know, work with more brand deals, things like that. And they actually, I'll give them some credit. Excuse me. They do give you a lot of, like, different things that you can do to try and make money, because even they realize that this is going to be biting a lot of people in the face. Just literally in the face, that they have this YouTube partner program, and now it's pretty much null and void with this new AI thing that's coming out, which fun. I would kind of assume it would go along with marking your content with the not made for kids. Thank you. Moving on, perfect segue, Specky. Thank you. I already knew I was going to get salty about this. So, for those of you that may know, whether you are here watching the stream now or you're watching this video later, I, Shweebe, Ashley, out of the 10 years that I have had this channel, 4 years, 4 consecutive back-to-back pain-in-the-buttedry years I spent fighting with YouTube's AI prior to what's going to happen, where, and it actually had a lot to do with COSA, it's the Kid Online Safety Act. This was well before it's blown out into such an exorbitant proportion as it is now. For those 4 years, YouTube's AI, and I am not the only one that was affected with this, would try and determine if you were a child based on just screening the video, the content of the video, and it would also listen to the audio. If you can't tell, I look fucking young, alright? And I do actually have quite a high-pitched voice, so I can't help that either, because this is just naturally me. My content, on a regular basis for 4 years, kept getting disabled comments, therefore it would not go through the rest of the algorithm or anything. It would sit where it was because it was deemed I was a child and therefore I was in danger from the rest of the internet. I had no business being there. And during those 4 years, I spent non-stop arguing, and I'm going to use the word arguing because that's all it was, with YouTube support to get them to understand that you have my information in my Google profile, which is directly attached to YouTube. Why is your AI telling whatever the system that I, at the time I think I was 33, am somehow a child? Knowing that, and within like the last 2 years, it has finally stopped, and I haven't had this issue. Knock on all of the wood you can possibly find. With this new AI rolling out, and they're talking about it's supposed to do, like, recognition, and it's going to be able to, like, focus in on, like, your search history and stuff, and going to determine whether or not you're you're under 18. What kind of hell and high water headache is that going to be? I don't want it. I just got out of the boiling pot of lava, and you're pushing me back in, you know? And that's the thing, and circling back to what Specky had said, my entire channel from the very beginning was marked not made for kids, and yet the AI then was still accusing my content of being Well, clearly it must be a child, therefore it is made for kids. It would also change that setting too, even if I hadn't. So just knowing that, and this new thing that they're going to be implementing, what kind of chaos is that going to just unleash? You know, I don't want that for anybody. It's such horseshit. It really is. Hang on. There was a couple other things I wanted to show. Excuse me. Don't mind me. It is currently allergy season. Okay. Give me a sec. Is it this one? Okay. So, and I'm probably gonna butcher the name, but it's Dexerto on Twitter. Does a lot of like following of the various social media things. Also does a lot of like game reviews and funny memes or whatever. But this is actually how I first learned that this was even happening. Was that YouTube is rolling out AI in the US to detect if users are actually under 18. It ignores the stated age and applies restrictions to users it suspects are teens. So it's not a matter of if we are in fact teens or children or whatever. It's just going to overlook that entirely, which is so not okay. Oh, I see your message. I don't know why it's not showing up, Brooke. It says you are a grown-ass woman. I know, right? I'm not sure why it's not. Sometimes the YouTube chat... There we go. Sometimes YouTube chat just proves to be annoying. But you see, this is what I mean. Little things like this, and there we go. Okay. So, there was this. And, And let's see. And then this one is from Pirate Nation. YouTube's new AI age estimation feature. Age estimation feature. I'm gonna say that again. Age age estimation feature. We pay attention to the words. We understand what the words mean. That's the reason why it's so important to pay attention in English class. Age estimation. Not exactation. Not exactly what it is. Like I said, I spent 4 years arguing with them. They insisted that I was under 18. I was actually told by one of the YouTube support peoples that I'd like done a text chain back and forth via email. Even they thought I was like 16, 14 years old. And at the time, I'm like, no, honey, I am 33. I have my bank information hooked up with y'all via Google. What do you mean? So I already know that this AI is going to go after so many people. But the question is it going to ignore that information like it did before? You know what I mean? It's stupid. Not fun. Everything is always broken all of the time, especially on here. Exactly. Like, I just fought with this damn chat thing because it wasn't showing anything new, and I was like, wait a minute, it's showing something on my phone. Pardon me. Ugh. Let's see. This is gonna be hell till people riot. I never paid attention in English or any class. I mean, I can't say anything either. English I really didn't, like, fully start paying attention in until, like, 11th grade. It just didn't hit off until then. Go take some allergy medicine here in a bit. Anywho, so getting back to this, let's see. Alright. YouTube's new AI age estimation feature in the US, designed to protect kids by analyzing user activity, may require ID verification, raising privacy concerns over data breaches and indefinite storage. Critiques question its effectiveness and safety. I'm not one to get super political by any means on this channel, because I do try to keep the things separate, because there's enough actual horseshit going on in the world. We're all aware of it, right? This might get just a little bit into that territory, but I swear I'm not going to deep dive on it too much. But it is important. It says that this is designed to protect kids. Ain't nothing about this designed to protect kids. The KOSA thing, the Kids Online Safety Act, ain't nothing about it designed to protect the kids. I don't care what administration it is. I don't care who says it. If they sit there and tell you to your face, via a screen or whatever, that, oh, it's to protect the kids, there is no way I believe you. I don't believe them. And here's why. If it were truly about the kids, gun safety wouldn't be a fucking issue in the schools. Kids wouldn't have to be terrified to go to schools. Kids would have fucking lunch in the schools. I would not be fucking terrified every time my nephew and niece go to school, and then just them being a kid and everything else that they do is not safe. And we have the ability to do something about that. Yet we choose not to. Those that are currently in the power and whatever have chosen to designate those resources to other bullshit. And instead, wrap it up in this weird little bow thing and claim that, oh, it's for KOSA, it's to protect the kids. It's to protect the kids. No, it's not. You want to know who should be protecting the kids online? The parents. Parents. Parent your damn kids. If you don't like what they're watching, you don't like what they're seeing, don't allow them on the internet. I was not allowed free access on the internet until I was 18. Yes, you heard me correctly. Otherwise, the computer was downstairs in the living room. That way, we could be monitored on exactly what it is that we were viewing. I did not have free access to internet until I was 18. As in, I wasn't given my very own personal computer that I could have in my room privately until I was legally considered an adult. And there was a lot of talks up until that point to know what to expect and to please don't click on the suspicious link and steal your ID and all that crap. Parents need to parent, all right? The rest of the world is not going to do it for you. This is equivalent to parents that call like TV stations when a cartoon shows something and, I can't believe you would have that in your show. You need to remove this immediately. How about, Karen, you just switch the channel. Have your kid, little Johnny, watch something else instead, okay? Maybe it ain't for you. If you don't agree with it morally or whatever reason, there's thousands of other things to watch. Thousands. You can go get DVDs. VHS still exists. That's exactly what I grew up on. We did not have cable until all of us, and that was including my youngest sister, who's 7 years younger than I, were teenagers. And even then, we just didn't care for it. But up to that point, our parents talked to us. You're raising these little gremlins to be adults. They are adults for the rest of their life. Teach them how to be like adults for the rest of their lives. We're going to get past that, because that did kind of go off on a weird tangent, but it's so important. You know what I mean? It's everything as to why this is. Powers that be are using this as a disguise for control. That's all this is. This is mega censorship. Mega global censorship. They want to be able to control exactly what it is that you see, view, hear, say on the interwebs. Globally. The way it doesn't matter if you have internet connection in here, Dubai, Alaska, Antarctica, they want to know exactly what it is that you are seeing, viewing, watching, saying. That way, if you happen to see something they don't want you to see, they can remove it. If you happen to say something that they don't agree with, who knows? They'll probably remove you. That's exactly what all this is. Now, I'm going to get back to, now that, a lot of that, I will admit, is facts mixed in with a lot of opinions. You are welcome to your own opinions. You are allowed to disagree with me. That's not a problem. Understand. Alright? That's the whole point of that whole rant. You are allowed to disagree with me. I won't hold it against you. Just understand, this is still happening in 6 days on YouTube. I wholeheartedly do not agree with it. And if you do not agree with it, I actually have a link here that I'll share in just a sec. I'm going to catch up with chat real quick. Let's see. Would like a lump of sugar to counteract the salt we got here. Beck says, parents actually want to protect kids. Then watch what the hell they're doing. Why is a 5-year-old walking around with a $1,500 tablet with free reign? Thank you. Or, I think the youngest I've seen so far is a 2-year-old walking around with an iPhone. Or just a phone. Your kid doesn't need a phone. Because here's the thing, phones are no longer phones. Phones, like back in 90s, early 2000s, were just a phone. They didn't have internet access. You just call whoever. That was it. Or you text. That was it. Phones now, even Samsungs, which is what I have, are miniature computers that connect to the fucking World Wide Web. You know, I think people honestly forget what www stands for. And exactly what each of those freaking worlds mean. World, as in the whole fucking sphere that we live on. Wide, which means everything on it. Web, everything that's freaking tangled up in it. And it's gonna get you. It'll fucking, you're in it. Anything and everything is on the internet. I, as an adult, or any adult out there, should not have to be forced to be made to endure, and I'm using that word specifically, endure what is being dubbed as family-friendly content, or whatever other phrase they want to use there, because all it is censorship. Family-friendly is so squished down in this little friggin' just ball that it's really only okay to watch if you're like 2. You know what I mean? Family friendly. Oh, you shouldn't swear. You can't talk about this and whatever. And, you know, just much, it's too risque. Just, yeah. Watch Paw Patrol then. Damn. Some of us, adults, would like to actually go about our internet-ing or just places to be on this fucking rock as an adult. We want to see the adult things. We understand, having lived life, that, you know, life sucks, man. It's nitty, it's gritty, it's greasy, it's beautiful, it's ugly, it's disgusting, it's the best thing that's ever happened. I would like to witness and experience and be a part of it as the adult that I am going to be stuck being for literally the rest of my life. We are children for such a short amount of time. Whether or not you look at like the 18, you're an adult, whatever, that's besides the point. But you're literally a child for such a small portion of your life. The rest of it, if you're lucky, you live to be like maybe 90 years old. So from what, maybe 18, 20 years old on, a good 70 years, the rest of your life, you are an adult. I don't want to be stuck watching some mamsy-pamsy, just, God. I don't want to be stuck watching Rated E for everyone. Those are nice, but every once in a while, I want to throw in like a Rated R thing. What's it to you? Maybe I want to see the most just butterball naked, just very questionable thing, and who cares? None of your damn business anyway. You know what I mean? It's stupid. It's invasive. Like, why do I need somebody else telling me how and what this should be? Just, it's exhausting. I'm trying to stay on track and not get too tangenty. My God, my allergies are acting up so bad. I got into a lot of dust at work. Let's see. The spec says no accountability anymore. None whatsoever. None. Brooke says, I was given full access when I got a touchscreen phone at 14, but very much told to be safe, and I'd always go to parents when I needed help. And that's brilliant. That is exactly what your parents should have done, because they trusted you at that age and most likely had conversation with you up to that point. You go, okay, you got to be safe. You know, don't click on this thing. If you have questions, you can always come to me. And here's the thing. I'm sure a lot of persons around my age or so, I've been around since the internet was first introduced into my parents' household, when you had to buy it on a disc. I have been there since the Wild Wild West version of the internet to see it become into this massive, glorious, just slutty little thing. And they're trying to take that all away. It started in Australia. It's happening in the UK. Riots, full-on riots are ensuing over it. Can you imagine how crazy it's going to get over here in the US? We already have so much other shit going on. I'm telling you right now, not to put this out there or whatever, but oh no. I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh no. Let's see. Beck says, phew, flip phone goodness, type in all the numbers 500 times to make all the words. Oh my god, was that my very first cell phone was a flip phone, I think? I'm pretty sure. It was this tiny, it was so much smaller than my Samsung. I think literally it was this big. And not even nearly as wide. I think, honestly, it was about that big. It was tiny. I used it for my first flip phone. Was when I was going to college, had a full-time job, and was driving literally back and forth hours each day. My god. Brooke says, hated the whole 20-minute process to send one text. The struggle was real. Naked Butterball talking food over there now, eh? Now I'm hungry. Exactly. Alright, give me 1 second. We're gonna go back to some of these other things that I pulled up. Did I plug? Oh, I thought I unplugged it. Okay. Okay. Pirate Nation did also post that there is a petition going against YouTube's age verification. Unfortunately, it doesn't have very many, signatures just yet. And this was posted on August 1st. So we really need to get this, going. I didn't mean to click that. Where's your actual link? It is, here we go. So we are currently at 13,000. There's easily, I think, close to 1 billion people that use YouTube on a daily basis. Maybe 1 billion's just a little bit of a stretch, but there's easily 100 millions of people that use this. This number needs to be so much bigger. So, I am actually going to share this in stream. I've actually already signed the petition. I've shared it on my Twitter. I don't know if I've shared it on Blue Sky just yet, but excuse me. I highly recommend, if you want to help get our voices heard by YouTube, to sign this petition. All you really need is your name and a signature, and share it. Get the word out there that this is happening, because this is a problem. This is such a big, it's going to have such ramifications that I don't think YouTube is fully aware or prepared for how bad of a backlash this is going to be. And ad revenue aside, overall viewership and usage of this platform is going to plummet so hard. Or people are going to find very creative ways to get around the ID thing. And here's the thing, people already have. Over in the UK specifically, and actually with Spotify here in the States and everywhere else, since they started asking for government ID or the face scan. Have started using the Gmod prop hunt guys and making IDs out of that. They've also been using characters from Death Stranding 2 and I think Cyberpunk was the other one that they've been using, where they're taking screen, like, you know, pictures of the person or whatever, and they're getting past the verifications that way, which I think is hysterical, because you just proved how easily workaroundable this is. It's not going to work, and at the very least, it's going to piss off so many people, especially with every new account that will be made, if they're going to be forced to have to use some form of, like, ID verification or whatever. It's gonna flop. It's gonna flop. It's gonna flop tits up. And people are just gonna get pissed. It's not, like, and the fact that these sites don't fully understand just how how creative people are, number one. And number two, it's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them in such an extreme way. I highly recommend you do not put your government ID on a social media platform. They have no business having that information. They don't need your credit card unless you're paying for, like, memberships or whatever. Like, that's fine, which if that's already on your account, fine, whatever. My big concern with this is we all know how insecure the internet actually is, how often data breaches actually happen. Within the span of, like, the last 5 years, YouTube alone, I think back in 2022, had a major data breach where 2,500 million people's information was leaked. And Google, I think within the last 10 years, has had 2. And guess what? Google is attached to YouTube. So why on earth would I put my government ID on the interwebs? And aside from that, we know full well with everything else on the internet that our information, we all know this, that our information is not secure no matter what site we go to. The sites will buy and sell our information all around the globe. It happens all the time. Because, and if that's not the case, which I know it's it is true, we wouldn't be getting really strange emails. You know what I mean? I get emails for Sam's Club. I don't even live anywhere near Sam's Club. But I didn't start getting that until I started going onto whatever site and had to put in a couple of bit of information. All it takes is you, like, giving them your cell phone, and you start getting spam calls, you start getting weird, because your cell phone, in most cases, is attached to your email. Heaven forbid you give out your email. You'll get, like, 5, 10, sometimes 20 different things all in one day, and it's like, what is this? Go away. I don't need this. Let's see. Becky says, I had one of those little Nokia straight talk things, whatever it was, pay per minute deals. My ID is all over by now. My broke ass isn't worth stealing anything. Yeah, but, like, and that's funny, but they have so much of our data anyhow, and they buy and sell it all the time. What would it truly take for them to buy and sell a certain amount of it, or just give it to, seriously, the wrong person? And, you know, like with the, like our social security numbers and whatever. All it will take is for that to go to somebody, and somehow they have our entire life now. I realize our government IDs don't necessarily have that level of power over us necessarily, but that's still personal information that a social media site or Spotify, which is essentially just a music site, has zero fucking business in having said information. I've seen some really creative people. Oh, that was the other thing. Aside from them using, like, the Gmod characters and all that, another one that I had seen recently was where someone had taken a Halloween mask that looked relatively human. They put that on and they did the face scan thing. And because it's AI, and AI does not know any better, they got verified and were able to use Spotify. That was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. I was like, man, this AI thing, it's gonna have every single site that does this, they're cooked. It's not happening. It is such a problem. Alright, Let's see, I did this one. Now, I'm not gonna show these videos necessarily, like I'm not gonna play them here kind of thing. But I flab my gums, obviously. I've shared the facts. I've shared my opinions, which I had quite a lot, and I still probably have a ton more. But if you'd like to hear a more calm, well thought out, more possibly like just more in better worded than what I can possibly do, I highly recommend you go and watch Moist Critical's video. He's also known as Penguin Zero. Let me get a quick copy of this because he is able to articulate exactly his concerns and overall what to expect with this new thing that YouTube is doing with the AI. I highly recommend you give it a watch. At the very least, just so you are better informed. Because, yes, I shared, and I also shared all of these various videos and pages on Twitter from all these amazing, wonderful other creators. But definitely go and give Moist Criticals a watch. Because he was able to explain it in such a way that it stuck for me. So I can only hope that this helps with you. I also have another link from from another creator called Deep Humor, where they actually go over how YouTube responds to the ID backlash. And this is all over just a bunch of posts on Twitter itself. And Pirate Nation is the one that's actually chit-chatting back and forth with YouTube over this whole situation. And I actually just showed you Pirate Nation's tweet about this in the first place. And YouTube was trying to defend itself, saying, obviously when YouTube tweets anything on any form of like other social media platform, it's clearly like AI written or very like rebuttal style. It's not a person talking. It is very cut and paste responses. So, but it shows a lot of that and just how even in the responses to the questions being asked that it's too vague, they don't give you a proper answer for it. And even then, they're still digging their heels in. So, okay. At the end of the day, with all of this that has been said and done and that I've shared with you, I'll be brutally honest. If I have to endure another AI essentially accusing me of being a minor and I have no way to get around it with the fancy workarounds that we have that are available to us, I don't really know what that will mean for the future of this channel. I would hope and like to think that because of the fact that this channel has been around for 10 years, which is something that they did say, depending on how long your channel has been around also will determine a lot of that, that they'll leave my channel alone, okay? Will it suck for everybody else? Yes, but like, I cannot go through another bout of that. During those 4 years of fighting continuously with YouTube support and the AI system and not being allowed to just have my content be up there for the masses to watch because my content kept getting flagged as a minor made this or whatever, you need to protect them. Come that 4th year, I actually completely had a mental breakdown. Phoenix is not here to contest to this or to agree with me, but he was there when it happened. But I literally lost my mind with one of the final emails that I had sent or that I'd received from them. It broke me in such a way. I will not deal with that again. So, as of right now, I don't know what this means for the future of my channel and all that. If it truly comes down to it, I may move to Twitch. And if for some reason that turns out to be something else, there are several other sites out there that currently aren't being bombarded with this. Should that happen, I will let you all know either via Discord, Twitter, Blue Sky. I might even leave a post here on this channel if it will allow me. I would hope and like to think that YouTube will understand just how big of a mistake they're making with this. And that fellow viewers and creators on this platform, sign the petition, say something, YouTube, because this is not going to benefit anybody. It's not going to protect the kids. It's only going to piss off everybody else that uses this platform. And not to mention, there is a YouTube Kids. If you truly cared, as a corporation, you would be telling parents. And they did this back in like 2017. I don't understand why it's changed now in 2025. That if you have a problem with something that your kid's watching, there's YouTube Kids, which has family-friendly, kids-only, really, content. Go watch that. Why did that change? Why is that no longer something that's being brought up? You know? Anyways. So, I'm going to wrap up the stream because I've been at this for a bit. Sketchy Possum, hello. They're doing this on every platform in every country. It makes no sense. It is, we talked about this a bit earlier. It is a global censorship. They have been wanting to do this now for ages. They talked about Costa back in, I think that was pre-pandemic when it was first brought up. And it didn't go anywhere. And then it went in Australia. And a day after it happened in the UK or something. And then like, I think a week later, we started getting it in not... the US hasn't been completely hit just yet, but they are going after major medias that are used in the US. So YouTube's one of them on the 13th. Spotify is currently one. Just, it's an L take. It's a huge L take. My goodness. I could literally bitch about this for like hours. I don't want to, but again, the whole point behind this was I wanted to inform y'all on the actual facts behind this, which is why I shared so many various tabs, emails, and what other people's that are, like I said, more articulate and able to convey the messages far better than I can. But I also wanted to share my own opinions on this. Again, you're welcome to have your own opinions, whether they differ, I don't care. All right, I'm really sharing with you why this is such a bad idea for me and for others. You don't agree with it? Whatever. Just understand that it's still going to affect you whether you like it or not. And you can sit there and say, oh, it's for the kids, but you just wait. You're going to be saying something different later. There was another point I wanted to make, and then I just completely forgot about it. I'm starting to wonder if I already covered it. I don't know. But anywho, so thank you also very much for coming out to watch the stream. So Specky, Brooke, and Possum, thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day and weekend. I will be streaming on Sunday. I'm going to be playing more Lollipop Chainsaw. If for some reason that should change, you can see a post or something. I don't see why it would. I don't have anything planned other than the stream itself. Other than that, this is kind of where we're at. Sign the petition. And if you sign the petition, share the petition. Even if it's people out in your day-to-day life, go, hey, this is happening on the 13th. We need to let YouTube know. There's easily 500 million, if not 1 billion active people always on fucking YouTube. We need to get some signatures to let them know, hey, no, shame on you. Shame on you. There's a YouTube Kids for a reason. All right? No corporation should be taking the job of a parent. Ever. This is dumb. All right? And by no means should any corporation be going out of their way to globally censor people. It's so dumb. By the way, I have no idea if this video is going to get pegged for community guideline issues. I have noticed that a few people who have covered this topic have. So I'll let you know what happens with that. I don't see how this video would go against community guidelines when I have seen some other horrendous shit on the site. That's the other thing. Before I close this, I think I just remember what I want to talk about. This site and its system is still so bad. From the porn bots, just bots in general, from the actual porn that I have found accidentally on this damn site. And you want to sit there and censor us and all that. I mean, you can't even fucking go through the trillions and billions of videos that are on here for years, mind you. Your system has no way of finding those, and yet you want to put out an age verification. I don't trust it. It's not gonna work. It's... Ooh. Alright, I'm done. I have assaulted so many things. To wrap it up on a sugary sweet note, for those of you that have been keeping up with the posts on Little Miss Callie Bean, I do finally have a surgery planned for her. It will be on September 2nd. The information that we were waiting for in the mail did finally come in. I immediately got it set up that day, was able to call the vet and get them up to date and all that, so she is good. Until September 2nd happens, I really don't have any further updates. For the most part, she's been doing great. Average, normal, fuzzy Callie Bean stuff. She's not in any form of pain, thank goodness. She acts like nothing is going on. Like, she's just like, it's just another day. I just happen to have this weird lump on my stomach, but I'm fine, so we're all in good high spirits with that. Alright, I am closing the stream. I am done. Thank you so very much for listening to me bitch about this. Thank you so very much for listening to the factoids and opinions I had to share. If you have any factoids opinions that you would like to share as well with this, feel free to comment on the stream once it is done, or hit me up. I'm on Twitter and Blue Sky. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications. This is not the main theme for this channel. If you made it this far, this is not something I do on a normal basis. Every once in a while, when YouTube comes out with random policies that are alarming, I will cover them. I wanted to do this one on a video, but I knew it was going to be very long-winded, so instead I decided to do it via a stream. I think the last one I did was when YouTube changed its ad policies back in like 2018. That was video format, and that was fine. But yeah, most of my channel, gaming channel, random funny skit channel, I do all kinds of stuff on this channel. It's my hobby channel. I really enjoy it. Anyways, I will see y'all in the next one, preferably on Sunday when I'm doing more Lollipop Chainsaw. Let's hear them fuck AI battle cries. Woo! Yeah! I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!